Hello, good evening, and welcome to Real Reds Talk, the big season preview. I'm very excited to introduce our guest today, as we have an OG of the channel back, an intellectual with tendencies to Google pictures of Anthony Martial and just smile. It is, of course,
chairman of Martial FC.
Yeah. How have you been? How are you doing? You good?
Yeah, Martial FC is taking new applicants. So if you guys want to fill in your forms, we're taking new applicants. When the season starts, it's over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I've been good. Yeah, it's glad to see you guys again.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get some of your thoughts because there's a lot of stuff happened obviously since you was last on the channel, so we'll dive into them a little bit later on. We've also got some other lads on the show as well, but no one gives a shit about them, so we'll just carry on.
Shireyas has got a fan club. Like I haven't. You know what I mean? So
yeah, let's get Sam a little fan club going because Shireyas has got some numbers in the chat.
Absolute bullshit.
We'll get you one, Sam. Don't worry about it. Now, with it being the big season review, of course, there's lots of things we want to dive into, and here's the kind of things that are on the agenda. So, the things we're going to be talking about, how many points we'll have from the first 5 games in the Premier League, so some dicey fixtures in there, including a massive game against Liverpool at Old Trafford. Also, who will be crowned Premier League champions, do we think? Top 4 prediction. Bottom 3 teams who get relegated, top scorer, most assists, most clean sheets, and most importantly, where will Manchester United finish? So, if you're a massive ball of excitement like the rest of us here, just hit that subscribe button and like the video. If this video gets, let's say, 30 likes on it, I'll do a shot of whiskey live. I think that's fair, right?
Or 350, yeah. 350 subscriptions as well. You can do that as well.
Both. Yeah. Either way, if we get 30 likes, 350 subs whilst we're live right now, yeah, I'll get it done. You know the script. So, without further ado, let's dive straight into it, guys. Looking at the first 5 games of our season, we've got Brighton at home, Brentford away, Liverpool at home, Southampton away, and Leicester away. Sam, looking at our first kind of hurdle, Brighton at home, how do you see this one playing out? I think in terms of outgoings, Brighton have lost Bissouma and Cucurella to Chelsea. I think that's pretty much done. And incomings, they haven't signed anyone major. I think they signed 1 or 2, but no kind of standout ones. So how do you see that game panning out from both sides?
You forget they do have Danny Welbeck, one of the greatest strikers to ever grace a Man United shirt. So let's not disrespect Danny Welbeck. I felt a little more confident up until yesterday today actually, when Martial is out injured. That kind of made me worried because they were now relying on Rashford up front, whose form last season was terrible, and I don't think he plays well in the number 9 position, and he's not fully back to the Marcus Rashford we all know and love, so that's worrying. And then the other option is Cristiano Ronaldo, who doesn't want to be at the club, isn't match fit, I'd say. Obviously he's in shape because it's Cristiano Ronaldo, but I don't think he's match fit, so that's...
Fitness is kind of different,
yeah.
Isn't it?
And he also doesn't want to be here, so it's like, are we going to get 100% Ronaldo? I don't doubt his professionalism. I don't doubt his ability, but when a person doesn't want to be there, I think they lose a couple of percent effort, ability, that kind of stuff. So that's worrying. And then the other option is to throw a young player in who's not had much first team experience. The first game of the season, under a new manager, expectations massive. And then what's that going to do to a lad if he's thrown in at the deep end? Worrying. So I was very much more confident a couple of days ago. At this point, I'm kind of worried because where the goal's going to come from, that's the worrying thing. Also, Sancho wasn't training. Another worry as well. That's not good. So yeah, slightly worried. Could be a draw, could be a loss. It's going to be a struggle for us to win unless Brighton just completely capitulate and just don't show up. Obviously, last season, like you said, they had Bissouma and Cucurella, so they've lost 2 key players. So it could be a little easier on us, but again, I'm not 100% confident with the injuries that we have and the lack of signings that we've brought in.
Yeah, the thing is with Brighton as well, they don't need like kind of standout players because they're so good as a team. Like how they play together and they're so fluent and they play exactly how Graham Potter wants them to. They're more of a threat like across the board for me. They don't have any kind of standout players or star players.
Well coached, well drilled, know exactly what they're doing. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Civir, I put on Twitter before that if Liverpool, if Darwin Núñez is out for Liverpool, they've got Firmino to step in, or they've got Jota who can play there. Still very, very top level talents. You've got Man City. If Haaland gets injured, you've got Julian Alvarez who can play there. You've got a number of players, like you saw last season, who can play there. With United, they are extremely lacking depth in attacking positions, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, losing Martial now, it literally just, yeah, I mean, you all know how I can't even put it into words, like how bad. Honestly, I can't even put it into words how bad it is. Like that is just that's a huge blow, and it just literally is a clear indictment on the depth of our squad. Like we don't have any players to fill in. I expect Ronaldo to start with Martial not being in. Other than that, Elanga. I mean, the only other yong attacker that impressed me during pre-season, who only played just one game, was Garnacho. Like when he played against who was it we played? Rayo Vallecano. Yeah, he was by far our best player, and I was just pulling my hair out saying like, so why do we have to? I don't understand. Like, why do we keep giving some of these players chance after chance after chance, and then there's someone like Garnacho who comes in and takes his chance, Because I've lost all faith in Elanga. I mean, I know he trains really hard, and apparently, like on the training pitch, like he gives 110%. But the level, he just doesn't have the level to take us, And this is what we've been saying. If we lose either of Martial, Rashford, or Sancho, even if it's for a game, like that's a massive 3 points to throw away. Like I don't know. But I think Ronaldo comes in. We have Rashford on the left. If Sancho is back in full fitness from his illness, then he gets in on the right hand side. But I just it's just so deflating just to see, and I think we're just going to pull a mad one towards the end of the window. Like we just panic buy. I think we're going to like.
Let's go. I think it stinks of desperate things. I think we're just going to throw some money at a player and be like, please, we need you. A lot of talks as well of like soon, like transfer in the next couple of days, like getting something over the line because of how thin we are in that areas. I mean, Shreyas, I must imagine Ten Hag, when he heard that news this morning, he was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Because this back and forth with Ronaldo at the minute, obviously, there was a lot of stuff going around about him leaving at half-time. The club came out and publicly said, oh, it's fine, like they had to beat traffic or do whatever it was. Then Ten Hag does an interview with like a Dutch outlet and says, no, like, they weren't supposed to leave, you stick with the team, blah, 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 which just caused a bit of an outrage. So there's obviously a clash between them already before the season's even started. How detrimental is that going to be now going forward? Because obviously Martial being out, like you have to use him. There's no one else you can use. Like Sam said before, with Rashford at number 9, what else are you supposed to do, right?
I mean, to be really honest, we do need Ronaldo, especially in this season. I think we need him even more than we did last season, because we don't have any depth. We don't have any options who can actually offer us, I would say, even a 50% to the quality to what Ronaldo would offer us in that striker position. And except that, right now the way things are actually coming out with Ten Hag and Ronaldo, I think from Ronaldo's side, I would just say, if you can't move, just get to terms with things. Just get to terms that he's staying with Manchester United one more season, because pretty much his contract is expiring this season itself, and he's going to be moving next summer. It's certain now. And I think if he actually, he can get on the good side of Erik Ten Hag, maybe, they can maintain a good coordination on the pitch as well as off the pitch, maintain the discipline of the locker room alongside with it as well. I think he can actually have a good season as well, because for me, I would say, considering, he's nearing to the end of his career, this season would be really important to him in another way, where if he can't leave, he still needs to produce goals. He still needs to score goals in order to, keep his record going higher and higher and higher. And if this kind of things keep happening, where there are altercations with the manager, once again something which happened under Rangnick as well, the manager is saying something, the player is saying something else, that wouldn't really help his case. And he isn't like Rangnick. Ten Hag is not at all like Rangnick, because Ten Hag doesn't even think twice before dropping a player. We've seen that in the preseason as well. He knows when he wants to sub a player off, and he knows when what player to actually bring in as well. And I think right now he's making the most of what he can, and that's, I guess, one of the reasons why he actually got Christian Eriksen in, because he wanted a player who is versatile enough to play as a central midfielder, as an attacking midfielder, could actually function really well off the wings as well, because he is a really, really talented player on the ball. He's really good with the ball at his feet. And that's why I think right now he's going for the players who can actually function in multiple spots and still offer the same quality playing in any position in those attacking outlets. And I would just say, with Ronaldo, I would say the case more or less isn't really about his fitness. It's more to do with whether he's on the same page with the team or not. Because his physical fitness and things like that had never been a question. And I think that before the Brighton game, if the team, it comes together as a unit, if they are all on the same page on that pitch, and you've got someone like Ronaldo leading the line, then I don't, I have any doubts whether we win the game or not. Because under Ten Hag, I know that, we are going to be playing progressive football. We are going to be creating chances. We are going to be really, really vulnerable on the counter attack when the long ball gets played. But except that, I do see us creating a lot of chances under this manager. And if you got someone like Cristiano Ronaldo playing as a target man, then he is going to give you goals. And I would just say that I would say the sooner this thing gets resolved between the manager and the player, the better it is for the club. Because the longer this goes on, it would be hard for the club to come out of it. Because right now, our transfer window is a bit of a mess as well. Our preseason ended on it started on a really, really good note. We were doing some good performances. Some players were, some new players, some youth players. They were impressing us a lot. You could see players coming out of their shell like Diego Dallo as well, looking much and much better after every single game. But the way it has ended, the confidence level has automatically gone down, because we've been playing against sides that haven't, really have. They just started their preseason pretty much. Their fitness levels are nowhere near to our fitness levels, and still we couldn't, really do the job to the level that we expected. So I would say that more than fitness and anything, this squad needs to come together as a unit, because we've seen last season what happens when you've got 11 individuals playing on the pitch, and what happens when you've got 11 players who are on the same page playing on the pitch. It's a completely different picture, and we can see some players, who are actually playing well. You could see Jadon Sancho pretty much flourishing under Erik Ten Hag. He's looking like the player we actually got from Dortmund after, pretty much an entire season.
Just as a general group question then. 2 questions I'll throw to you, right? Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo, will he be our striker by the time deadline comes in the transfer window, so by September, let's say? And the second question, what will the result be against Brighton? Just very quickly. Sam, I'll go to you first. 2 questions.
As in, will he be our main, as in our starting striker? He won't be our starting striker, but he'll still be here at the club.
Okay, and the result against Brighton, did you say draw? Or bit too positive that for you, isn't it, Sam? A draw.
A little bit. No, I think I'd probably go with a draw, because, like you said, Brighton haven't invested that much. I know they bought a guy who's worked under Ten Hag, though, haven't they? From he used to be at Ajax, I believe.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but he does play for Brighton. So, yeah, 1-1. I'm trying to be as positive as possible, but with the lack of forwards that we've got in a minute, it's very hard to see where we're going to score goals. So,
I get it. Okay, so Sam's going with he'll still be here, won't be our starting striker, and a draw against Brighton. Civir, what do you think?
I think he'll still be here, just because no one else can afford him. George Mendes has tried everything in the book. He's tried everything. But Fabrizio always says you never know, like things can change. But as things stand right now, I think he'll still be here. As far as the game, I can see us winning it. It's a home. I think the players will be up for it. And I remember when Martial came off against Atletico Madrid, Marcus Rashford moved into the 9, Bruno moved to the left, and Eriksen took the 10. So I think he can do. You know how Tadic was like a wide playmaker.
Been saying this all summer.
Adam's favorite thing to say that, isn't it? He loves Dusan Tadic the way that Adam says that so much.
Yeah. So I can see a sort of thing where Bruno moves onto the left and possibly even interchange with Christian Eriksen in the 10.
Okay.
The only problem we have is the bench, is that we just don't have anything coming off the bench. Yeah. But I'm confident to think I think we'd win. I think if we saw what Martinez could do, we've got Malacia. I'm cautiously confident.
Cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic.
Okay. Shreyas, what's the result going to be, do you think, against Brighton? And Ronaldo, come September, will he be our starting striker?
Yeah, I think by September he's going to win all the fans back. Because I would still say that
Yeah, not me either. I have to admit, not me either.
Yeah, not me.
But we are the whole fan base, so
yeah. If he's there, he's there. But and if he scores, I'm not going to be like, I'm not celebrating, But I just know what it is now.
I hated Wayne Rooney when he tried a similar thing, when he tried to leave and then he got offered a shit ton of money and went, oh no, it's all right now, everything's fine. So I hated Rooney from that point on. But when he scored, I had to celebrate because it's United. So it is what it is.
I mean, sorry to cut you off, Shreyas. I can understand, and I know we'll get to this topic at some point, but I can understand if you're unhappy and if you want to leave and all that. That's fine. But just be professional in the way you conduct yourself. Yeah. Do you remember Bastian Schweinsteiger? He got sent. His locker got taken out of the. He got sent to the kids' locker room or whatever. Mate, he remained professional the whole time. So whatever is happening at the club, if you're unhappy, just stay professional. That's all I'm asking of him. We all understand he's got records to protect. That's fine. It's just the way he's gone about it. But yeah, sorry, Shiraz.
Yeah, I would still say that things. If he does stay, I do see things changing a lot, especially in the locker room side as well. For some players, I would say as well, because under Ten Hag, if you don't perform, you're going to be out. That's pretty much the case. So I see him staying with us for this season because, like Civir mentioned as well, he's tried everything, a loan move, anything he could actually try out. He's done that, and except that I think against Brighton, as so far as I have seen, Brighton haven't really looked impressive after losing Bissouma in their midfield. They've still they lack that physical element in their midfield right now. So I see a 2-0 win happening at Old Trafford.
Okay. I'm going to go with, I think Ronaldo will be our starting striker because I think once that window shuts, he's literally not got he hasn't got a choice, has he? He has to.
Yeah.
And Ronaldo's the type of guy who'll still want to score goals. I know the Champions League record is the main thing that he's looking at because he spent 17 years going back and forth with Messi for the record. I think he's ahead of him at the minute by 15 goals. If Messi stays with PSG for another year or two or whatever, he could get above him. And you spent all that time trying to getting the greatest goal scoring record ever to then, when you're 38, you could be still doing it because he's still at the top level. But because it's United, he's got to do it at Europa League, which obviously doesn't count for Champions League. So I think that's one of the big frustrations when it comes to Ronaldo, and that's why he was even in his talks with Sporting Lisbon because they're in the Champions League, and he thinks we can get a few goals for them in the group stage, etc. So
before you go on, Nick,
Ronaldo, go on.
Can we read some comments because there's a lot of people chatting, asking stuff, and then
let me I'll throw out my thing first, and then we'll. So Brighton, I think we'll draw. I'm with Sam on that because I think we're extremely thin in areas. And look, I think from what I've seen as a team, it looks promising, but we still lack a lot of quality, I think, in certain areas. So I think against Brighton it'll be like a 1-1 or a 2-2. And Ronaldo will stay. So let's dive into them comments to see what.
So a lot of love for Shreyas as always in the chat. And then there's a bit of love for Civir as well. Dan Raj, intelligent man, back on the show. Civir, the GOAT is back. Abdul Salam. I hope that's referring to you, Civir, not Nick. So.
It's probably Nick.
How dare you?
Nick.
How dare you? Either way, take the praise.
Diarise players might have left the stadium thinking Ollie's still the manager. True. Diarise on Sunday incoming. Donny was professional, lost his players years, even though he deserves to start ahead of McTominay. Yeah, good point.
Interesting. Always love the comments in the chat. Moving on to the second game, guys. Brentford away. They've obviously lost Christian Eriksen to us, which will be a big loss for them. Seems like they're signing, I don't know if anyone's seen this, signing Damsgaard from Sampdoria, the Italian league, which I think is a very astute signing. I think it'd be a decent bit of business to kind of replace Eriksen. They also now have, obviously, a year's experience in the Premier League under the belt. They know what to expect. Sam, do you see this being a tough challenge against Brentford? Bear in mind, this will be their first home game of the season as well, so the fans are behind them for that.
So obviously when we played the first time we played Brentford last season, it was a tale of two halves, wasn't it? Because we were absolutely ridiculous in the first half, and then second half it was
a 3-0 one or 3-1?
3-2. Was it 3-2?
I can't remember.
It was 3-1,
didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like tale of two halves, and we just absolutely liked it. And then obviously when they came to Old Trafford, you saw what United were like that season. Just like absolutely terrible performance. I'm hoping that has no bearing on what's on the net on this game this season. Obviously, Brentford, very good manager. Thomas Frank, even though he seems to have an issue with Sancho for some reason. Don't understand why.
It's just it seems to be bitter in his interviews.
Yeah, doesn't like it. Obviously, losing Christian Eriksen is very sort of decimating for them, because I think they were sort of languishing in the bottom half of the table until he came in, and then I think he was responsible for like a ridiculous amount of assists and goals once he came into the team, hit the ground running. So he's practically saved them from like a relegation battle. They ended up like near mid-table or something, didn't they? Because of him.
Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting game. So obviously, if Liverpool game aside, the other three are all winnable games. I think it's just we've been hit by injury bug at an absolute worst time, and our squad depth is absolutely shocking. So we're in a position where these teams are beatable if we've got a full squad available, and we would have got some more signings in, but it's going to be a little more tricky. I think we can beat them. I think they are beatable. I'll go with a win. I think maybe a 2-1, something like that. I'm hoping that as the season goes on, our defence gets better and Maguire gets dropped, and we end up with some combination of Martinez and Varane, or Martinez and Lindelof, something like that. I'm hoping Maguire gets dropped at some point, but if he plays well, I'll take it. That's fine. But if he doesn't, I'm hoping he gets
I think he's looked decent during pre-season, but I'm also very aware of how bad he was last season,
and it's pre-season as well.
Happen again, but look, everyone's got a clean slate in my mind. I'm happy to continue.
I'm very different. I don't trust these players at all. Like obviously, Eriksen, Martinez aside, and Malacia, these are the same players that performed so badly last season. It was one of the worst seasons in United memory, like ever. And they expect a clean slate. Like, not from me. You've got to earn it on this pitch. You've got to play well every single game, or put in performances when you play. That's it for me. So if you don't do that, you're not getting a clean slate until you perform and you're in credit for a bit then, and then I'll start supporting when you have bad games.
I get that. I do think that also as well. Go on, Civir.
Just to play devil's advocate, right? The season before, they came second.
Yeah.
And the only team to score more goals than Manchester United the season before was Man City. So it's literally, and this is what Ten Hag said when he came. He said, well, these are the same group of players who came second. So this is why he's trying to give them, I know if he could sign more players, he probably would.
Oh, definitely.
But then this is why, but he's given them some level of trust. Now, we've been scarred. I mean, I was at Old Trafford a few times last season. It was
horrible, wasn't it? It was fucking horrible.
It was horrible. Like the Villa game, like that would remain in my memory forever.
That's a bad game.
That was so terrible. But anyway, just to say that these are the same set of these guys can play. Whether or not they can play Ten Hag system is another thing. But they've shown us that they've done it. I mean, we outscored Liverpool.
Yeah.
Can I throw something to you, Civir, on that though, to try play devil advocate on that? That season where we came second, don't forget it was pandemic. There's no fans in any of the stadiums. Away games much easier, not as much pressure on the likes of Maguire and set players. Liverpool had a shitload of injuries. They had like some massive players, so they weren't at the full strength from January, was it? Yeah.
Same as us.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, what injuries did we have in the team? What big players did we have out?
remember it was so I remember we lost Maguire at some point. We lost
At the end
Pogba.
of the season.
Is
At
that
the end of the
Europa
season,
League
League
final, wasn't it? That's
Yeah,
when we lost them.
Europa League
Yeah.
final as well. During the season as well, we lost. I know it wasn't all plain sailing. When we had all our players was when we went on that run.
Yeah.
And then
The away
that
run,
Sheffield-
wasn't it?
Yeah, and then that Sheffield United game when we lost Pogba,
Oh,
and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it just
yeah.
everything just tanked from there.
yeah.
We lost him, and then we lost Maguire, and then But I get what you're saying, Nick. Like there's there's context.
It's two sides
right?
basically, isn't there? There's
It's
two
just
sides to it.
context,
Yeah,
But I'm just
definitely.
saying. I think the only reason why I'm saying that is that it's not like we have like a bunch of like completely shit players.
Yeah, they're not
No,
just
no.
like.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think
So
they've just got something to prove that, like, yes,
they've got a lot to
ability,
prove.
they've got ability,
Yeah.
but last season was so bad for a lot of fans. People aren't just willing to take a leap of faith and be like, right,
No.
yeah, we trust you, go on, do
No, that's
do
that's
Yeah.
that's
seen you
what.
do
and that's
before.
valid. That's valid as well. Like,
I agree with Nick. The ability is there. Like we've seen it. Like you said, we've seen it. We've seen how good Marcus Rashford. We've seen how good Anthony Martial is. We saw Roberto Carlos. We've seen these players at the top of their games. We know the ability is there. I just don't think the effort and the fight and the sort of will to, when things are down and things are bad, the will to fight back is there in a lot of
Yeah.
these players. I know some of them have gone in Pogba, in Lingard, in Dean Henderson, players like that. I know they've gone, but I still think a couple of these are like they obviously Ten Hag's not able to get rid of everybody that he wants to get rid of because that's not how it works. But I understand that it's going to be a process of slowly getting these players out that he doesn't want, bringing in the players he wants over a few windows and seasons. But yeah, I don't trust these players yet. I don't trust them. So it's just for me, it's you got to prove it on the pitch.
I think the question's always been with Manchester United's consistency and mentality. Like that's always been. I don't think the quality's ever been in doubt. It's been the same theme with a lot of players that we've had at the club. Just bringing it back to the Brentford game, I'll move through this one very quickly. Shreyas and Civir, give us your prediction on that, and yeah, a little summary how you think it's going to go. Civir.
Yeah, I'm also confident about that one. Although I know Thomas Frank is a really good coach as well.
Oh, just to add for context, sorry, because you were scratching your head before about the Sancho thing. He said in an interview. He said in an interview. Do you know what he said? Because I thought that's why he was. So yeah, he said something like, "Oh well, they've got a £70 million player on the pitch. So what do you expect?" Or something along the lines of that. Being just bitter basically because they lost. But yeah, sorry. Go on.
He was off though, wasn't it? Because a family member had died or something like that. That's why. I was like, oh, he's not playing. It's just like
to bench a 70 mil player,
yeah.
then you know what kind of squad they've got, and it's just like, shut up, you bitter knobhead. What are you on about? But yeah, go on.
Yeah, I don't know if they played the same three at the back like they did the season before, because his setup was really effective. I'm confident. I'll keep it really quick. I'm confident. I think we can do it. Obviously, I mean, if we get maybe Martial comes back, it's a hamstring injury, so I suspect it'd be a
Good few weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'm still confident. I mean, I can after the Brighton game, I'll be able to tell. But I think for now, yeah, I'll go with a win.
Okay. Shreyas, quick prediction for the Brentford game.
Is that away?
2-1.
Sorry, is that home or
It's
away?
away.
Yeah,
It's away.
it's
Yeah,
away,
Brentford.
away.
It's Brentford's first home game of the season.
Oh crap! Yeah, remember what they did to Arsenal? Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
they had Arsenal.
The
Their
fans-
first. Yeah, that was yeah.
Fans will be
Oh, yeah.
behind them, won't they? Shreyas.
yeah, I think it would be a win, 2-1.
Okay, interesting. Then we have the colossal game against Liverpool. Last season they had an aggregate of like 9-0. I think it was something like that. Like two extremely painful games for us fans. I think our first watch along, Shreyas, wasn't it? The Liverpool game. Yeah. So it was a tough one. We were sat there like,
I still remember.
oh.
Nick just grabbed his bottle of water to drink, and the moment he went back to the screen, the scoreline was 1-0. It changed to 2-0, and Phil Jones was panting on the halfway line, and he said, "What happened?" I just said, Luis Diaz just ran through our whole defense, just like that.
Yeah, it was such a bad watch along that, wasn't it? But look, it's United fans for you. We're here to support. Do you see? I kind of feel like this is like a loaded question or whatever. But how do you see this game going, Sam? Liverpool third game in. Obviously, got a couple of games under our belt by then. Maybe a few players. Well, Martial back from injury, as Civir alluded to then.
Yeah.
How do you see
Considering
that
we
game
beat them
going?
4-0 in pre-season as well.
Yeah. Don't forget about pre-season. It obviously matters.
Yeah, pre-season's important. It always reflects what the season coming in is, isn't it? Yeah. I'll just read a couple of comments out and I'll get into my thoughts. Dan Raj with a lot of good points. Maguire's decent, stats on paper progressive, but what about those crunch moments or errors that lead to a goal? Yeah. Problem creating player with consistent top form like Ronaldo, professional player with no consistency. Shania thinks 10 points for the first 5 games. Interesting.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. I'm going to get your predictions for that after the next 2 games.
And then Babika Paner, I'm sorry for butchering your name, my friend. Please sign Milinkovic, Savic, or Neves. Both. Yeah, we feel like I'm in 2017. We talk about Milinkovic, Savic, but Neves I do rate as a player very much. I'm not. People, are you going to call me cynical for thinking we don't have a big chance against Liverpool?
Not cynical. No, it's just all about.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
whatever you think. I think I know what you're going to say, but I just want to hear you say
it. You just want to put me through the torture.
Yeah.
Obviously, Liverpool they lost Mane, but they've gone all in on Darwin Núñez. Sorry, let me retract that statement. The Uruguayan Andy Carroll.
There you go.
I think they've put all their eggs in his basket, really, haven't they? They're banking on him to deliver goals. Obviously, he's had a very good season, Benfica in the Portuguese league, but has he done it over time? We shall find out. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of faith. It's a change of system for Liverpool as well. They haven't played with a big striker up top under a Klopp system. So that may affect them. That could be a bit tricky. It's the whole season's talking about who's going to be the biggest scorer in it, Haaland or Núñez. That's the sort of big talking point. So we'll see what happens. I'm not very confident, especially if Martial's still out at that point. I wish Martial would be back and he could do the Anfield debut again because, do you remember when he arrived? Sorry, mate. Sorry. When he arrived at United, did that. He just made Martin Skrtel look like absolute dog shit. Amazing. Yeah. One of my favourite moments ever.
When you watch that again, look at Fellaini's face when Martial does it. Fellaini's
He's like, who we signed there? Who's this kid? Fucking
that's what Fellaini's face, like Fellaini was like.
I just, Martin Skrtel's face lives in my memory. Like, he's just like, the Martial's come out and what, my God, and Martin Skrtel's just stood there like, what the fuck just happened? It's just gone and it's in the back of the net. Absolutely love that moment. Yeah, it'd be a shame. I'd love it if that was true, but whether he's back or not, whether he's match fit or not is up in the air at this point. If Ronaldo gets his ass in gear and decides he's going to stick it in Man United for season, could be very important against Liverpool. Obviously, he didn't play at Anfield last season because the death of his child. So, obviously, that he wasn't there. So, it could be interesting to see how Ronaldo, he might be match fit by that point. I'm not confident at all against Liverpool. As long as we don't get spanking, I don't want to see 4-0. I don't want to see that.
At Old Trafford.
Yeah, I don't need to see that. So if we can put in a decent performance, salvage a draw, I'll take it. If we can beat him and smash him, I'll be celebrating for fucking days, honest to God. But I'm not very confident. The way Liverpool are playing, the way Klopp sets his teams up and stuff, there's not many teams better than them, and the only other team that is better than them is City, and you can see how close it is between them two. So yeah, I'm not confident score wise. I'll be positive 2-1 United. Fuck it.
All right. Okay.
Fuck it.
Okay. Interesting.
Because when I was cynical all last season and it all came true. Yeah. So let's go the other way. Let's try. Yeah. I'll be positively delusionally optimistic.
All right, well that's going to be the key word now. We'll use that every time. I like it. Might have to abbreviate it though. Yeah. Civir, Liverpool, Old Trafford. I think they are going to be scary this season. I think it'll have a bit of an adjustment period, adapting to Darwin Núñez, how he plays. I think he's going to be an absolute fox in the box. I think he's going to be a killer for him. And the way they played against City, I know it was only Community Shield, but if you watch that game, I know City had their chances as well, but Liverpool are just as dangerous in certain areas. Yeah. Like the wing backs are so dangerous as well. Like Trent's just on another level for me. How do you see that game panning out? And maybe will there be another Martial moment of madness?
We have to be realistic, man. That's just the truth about it.
Now, what's happened to Civir? It used to be positive. What's going on?
Nah,
He had to go through last season. Last season happened.
Yeah.
That's what's happened to him.
we have to be realistic. Like, you know what I want? I just want us to be what Liverpool was when we were winning. Do you remember, like, back then? I don't know. You guys are a bit younger.
Speak for yourself, Civir.
Yeah, Sam's a boomer.
Yeah.
But even when we're like on top, like, it was never easy playing against Liverpool. They would come and they'd give us a fight. I just want to see a fight. Like, let's just fight. Let's get.
Let's see Lissandro Martinez 2 foot Darwin Núñez. Let me see that.
Exactly.
I'll be fucking happy with that.
I don't listen. Everybody loses. That's that's fine. You can't go through a season without losing. Yeah. It's just the manner in which you lose. I just don't want us to go out on a whimper. Like, we were already defeated before we even kicked the first ball last season. I want us to come in there and just be like, you know what, you beat us, but take the scars with you, or I don't know, just let's just see something, like,
I get you.
But I'm being realistic. The most I can hope for is a draw, to be honest. Even though we've got Ten Hag's not a magician. He's a human being. And he doesn't have the correct player. He doesn't have the right players to fit his system to be able to counter what Liverpool are doing. The reason why Liverpool is so effective is because they have the right players. Like, there's nobody there that was there before Jurgen Klopp came in. He's changed everyone.
Yeah.
Bar maybe Milner, I think. But everyone else is gone. So he has the right players to play his style of football. That's why they're so effective. Ten Hag doesn't. So let's be realistic. I just hope. I really wish I could get. Well, I didn't get a ticket for that one, but I just want the crowd to get behind us. But realistically, draw.
Yeah. They fit like for Klopp's first season in charge. They finished 7th, didn't they? So like it took him time. It took him time to get where he is, and that's where we need to be. With
David and Gog. Do you remember?
Exactly. He had some right. What Ryan Babel there as well when he came in.
And Gog and
some shocking players.
He literally got everyone out quickly, but yeah.
Also, as well, I think it's important to mention the fact that Liverpool's recruitment has been absolutely 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
They do not miss with players, especially the past few years. Like, every player is just boom, world class, boom, world class, boom, like they rarely miss. So
that's because they get the players that the manager want. They don't get the player for the club. It's not like Donny van de Beek, who Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did not want.
Yeah.
And then then they go, and then we got Ronaldo, who Solskjaer didn't really request. Just get players.
Exactly. But then Shreyas, with everything in mind that's been talked about, and obviously the game against Liverpool itself is always feisty one. You always get a bit of back and forth. I think this one is going to be the one that shows where we're really at in it. I think the Brighton game and the Brentford game are going to be like, right, okay, not too bad, playing well as a team, but they're the ones who are going to test us the most. One of the best teams in the world, really good like counter attack on transition. They are ridiculous, and I think our weakest point is transition as a team. I think we're too slow and not as aggressive. That's improved gradually under Ten Hag, but I think it still needs improving on. Just your thoughts on the Liverpool game and your score prediction.
I would come at it with a different perspective. I would say Liverpool can pull out any 11 they want, but if we get Frankie de Jong in till then, I think we'll beat him.
Oh, God. Let's not talk about Frankie de Jong. Oh, no. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think we've spoken so much about de Jong, like, it's just not even... Yeah.
I'll break the whiskey out now if we have to talk about it. I'm not doing it.
We'll leave it on de Jong. We'll leave it.
Calm. Stay calm. He's coming, don't worry.
I agree with you there. I'm on that boat, mate. Trust me, I'm on that boat.
If he wasn't, we would have pulled out by now. Like, we pulled out. As soon as Timber was like, I'm not coming, we pulled out with Timber, with Julian Timber. Like, calm down, relax.
It's got a good pull-out game. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'm going to rush through these other two quickly. Southampton, Leicester, both away games. What's the general consensus for these two? Sam?
Southampton should smash them because they've not bought anybody. They've lost people. They lost their one striker in Broja, didn't they? Broja, sorry. Broja, he's gone. So the one sort of shining light they had last season. I don't rate many of their players. James Ward-Prowse maybe, but you're relying on a free kick to go in. So I don't. I think we should beat. He has done before. He has done it to us. So yeah. Famous last words. I think Leicester are in trouble. Leicester not bought anybody at all, as far as I know. It looks like they're going to be stripped for parts as well. It's like James Maddison's going to Newcastle. Tielemans wants to leave. Don't know if that's going to happen this summer, but could be gone. Fofana looking like he's going
left as well.
Schmeichel's gone. They've not bought anybody in. Brendan Rodgers, I don't rate as a coach either. I don't think he's a decent coach at all. So Leicester should be a beatable game as well. And then hopefully we've got Martial back by then. It's looking into the future.
Every game.
Because we've got no strikers. We have no strikers. Like, what do you want me to say?
No. I'm saying,
do you know what I mean?
It's like, if he's fit, then
it's like talking.
It's such a like.
It's like, you're a City fan. You're just like, oh, De Bruyne's injured. Oh, it's all right. We've got Gundogan. We've got Bernardo Silva. Oh, and then Liverpool. Oh, we've got Jota injured. No worries. We've got Salah and stuff. It's fine. Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. We're in this position because of the Glazers and the way they operate the club. And I have to be realistic. I have to rely on Martial. I have to rely on fucking Mick Fred at this point because it doesn't look like we're signing a CDM. So, do you know what I mean? It's the reality of the situation. I have to pin my hopes on one or two players because they're the only players who have any sort of quality.
Before Civir's blood pressure goes through the roof, let me ask him. Leicester, Southampton, quickly, how do you see them games going?
I honestly don't know, because they're the ones who could beat. I think we'll beat Leicester. Southampton's still open. It might be a draw. Those are the ones. It's them kind of games where it's like that's like the banana slip. Yeah. Do you remember when Ragnar came in and then they had a list of games we were supposed to play, and then they asked Owen Hargreaves.
No, man.
What do you think? And then Hargreaves like, oh, win.
Yeah. Famous last words, Owen.
Yeah.
I know. I think we can beat Leicester, but with Southampton, I don't know. Okay. Is the manager? What's his name? Is this
Hassan Hootel?
Yeah. No, it won't be for much longer though. I don't think. I think he's one of the ones who will go next season because he's not been backed at all. He actually plays a nice system. Of football, but he hasn't. Again, he's a student of
he's a student of Ragnick and Gegenpressing and stuff, isn't he?
Yeah. But I think he can go to somewhere in Germany and do a better job with the team there. Like Southampton are just not backing him at all. So interesting what Civir thinks there. Shreyas, again, very quickly on them two games. How do you see them going?
Yeah, I think when you look at Leicester as well as Southampton, every season I would say, considering how the Leicester City squad is right now, I would say these are the games that are, I would consider them as the free points because you can expect a game out of any of the top 6 clubs, but these are the games where, you can actually just get those 3 points in and move upwards towards the table. And I would say if we don't get the 3 points in these sort of games, we aren't getting UCL next season either because these are the games that, these are the points that actually get us to the top 4. You can't bank on, winning the games against Liverpool, City, Arsenal or Tottenham because you never know how those games are going to, pan out until the end, and we've seen how games actually panned out for us last season as well against Tottenham. The 3-2-1, it just came down to Ronaldo scoring a hat trick at the end for us to actually get the 3 points. So you can't count on these games to actually rely on UCL football. So I would say that we will win against Leicester, but I think that we'll lose points against Southampton because every season when we started, we have always dropped points against Southampton. It's always been a really tough game for us to actually come against Southampton whenever we played them when the season starts.
We've also beaten 9-0, by the way.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's been mixed with Southampton, hasn't it? Like, it's been up and down. I get what you're saying. Bit of a roller coaster for them when it comes to fixtures, especially at the start of the season. I think, as well, Chelsea are in for Fofana. So that might be another player that they lose, as well as Maddison if he goes and Tielemans.
Every player...
ultra thin.
Every player that's sort of looking like they're moving, just put Chelsea on it because apparently they are going in for every single player. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, they're going in for Aubameyang as well.
We can do a whole fucking show on Chelsea and Barcelona in this transfer window. Let's not dive into it. I'm going to ask you all now for a point total of the 5 games that we just discussed. So, Sam, if you want to go first.
All right, so what did I say? Draw against Brighton. Win against Brentford. So that's 4. I said a win against Liverpool, didn't I?
Yeah.
Shit.
7.
Yeah.
7. All right. Let's do a draw against Southampton then.
8.
8, and then a win against Leicester.
Okay, so
11 points.
I'm maybe we'll come back to this end of August.
Yeah.
And see
11
who gets the
points.
closest. So 11 points from Sam. Civir?
What did I say? I said a win against Brentford.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brighton. Win
Brighton.
against Brighton. Win against Brentford.
Draw against
lose
Liverpool.
No, lose.
Oh, lose.
Yeah, lose to Liverpool. That's 6 points. Draw to Southampton. That's 7 points, and then win against Leicester.
10 points.
10
Okay.
points.
Andreas?
Am I going to be the most positive here? This is going to be ridiculous if it is.
Please let him have it. Please let him have it.
I'd say 11 from the first 5 games. 11 points.
11 points. Okay. I think Brighton draw. I think we beat Brentford, lose to Liverpool, beat Southampton, draw with Leicester.
So how many is that?
That's how I think it's going to go. No idea. I thought someone was going to count for me.
All right, go on.
We'll figure
Draw against Brighton.
No, I think, draw against Brighton. We beat Brentford.
So that's 4.
Lose to Liverpool.
Okay.
0.
Beat Southampton.
7.
7.
And then draw against Leicester.
8. So me and Shreyas are the most positive with the points total.
Yeah.
Shall I read a
Yeah,
couple of
just 'cause we're so
comments? People have put some
Hit me
comments
up,
in.
hit me up.
Yeah, Shreya 10 points from the first 5. Kishore, Maga, Ronaldo is not the best player, selfish attitude. Shreya, Liverpool be reality check this season. Adam's in the chat.
Yeah.
Shout out to Adam. Sligo Rovers down 2-0, lads. Bad day for the parish. Oh well, no Europa Conference League for Sligo Rovers. Daniel Raj thinks 12 points. So he's going more positive than me and Shreyas. He's going 12 points.
Okay.
We're also at 324 subscribers, so thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Lovely. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate that. Keep getting your comments in, interacting. Let us know what you think as we go through the categories. Top 4 prediction time now. Who will end up in the Champions League by the end of the season? Is there any dark horses, do you think? Talk to me. I'm going to run through some odds with yourself for top 4. So, obviously, Liverpool, Man City, you got Liverpool 1-8, City are 1-33. Chelsea, could they fall out? Potentially, there's a lot of people saying they're going to have a bad season. They're 4-6 to get top 4. Spurs, obviously, recruited good. They've got a world-class manager. How far will they go there? 8-13. Arsenal, exciting front 4. A lot of people rate Arteta. They are bottle jobs, though. I
can't wait to see what Civir says where he puts Arsenal. Cannot wait.
Gabriel Jesus as well up top, so a good addition for them. They're 6-4, and we have our pride and passion, Manchester United. Will Ten Hag ball be enough, or will we lack depth in certain areas and lose out on top 4 again? Talk to me. Anyone can take that. The floor is yours about top 4.
Liverpool are not fit. Are not winning. They're not winning. City top because I can't see. I don't want Liverpool another title. I can't do it. City, Liverpool, Spurs. Don't know. 4th is tricky.
It's tricky.
I could see Chelsea having a bad season. They looked fucking awful in pre-season. They looked really, really bad against Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think Tuchel's under pressure. Because he's got to deliver something this season with new owners and stuff like that. Lukaku's gone. They've not signed a striker. They're relying on Timo Werner. Sterling's a decent player, very good player. Koulibaly, decent defender as well. Done something. They're looking like they're getting Cucurella through the door as well. So yeah, they could be a problem. But I think, if Tuchel doesn't deliver, he might throw his toys out the pram and it might get a bit messy at Chelsea. So yeah, fucking hell, it's tough. I'm
gonna need a final answer from you, Sam. I'm gonna have to push her. I have to lock it in.
I'll go with Chelsea because I can't put Arsenal in there because they choke. That's what they do. And I can't put United. I can't put United in there either. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go with Chelsea by process of elimination.
Okay, that is locked in. Civir, talk to me. Top 4.
Yeah, I think it will be, like everyone says, Liverpool, City, whichever one.
Yeah.
Tottenham and Arsenal.
Oh my god!
I think so.
That's going to be the death of you, that, isn't it?
I still think I still think we can make Champions League if we win the Europa League. I think we have a better chance of winning Europa than.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Point top four. And the only reason why I put Arsenal ahead, as things stand right now, is just because of the squad depth that we have.
Yeah.
If we had more players, I'd say I think would be in with the shout. But the thing about Arsenal, that what we forget is they've been playing with each other for quite some time with Mikel Arteta's ideology.
Yeah.
They had a very, very good run last season, like during mid-season, under the radar. No one really noticed it, but they put together a really good run. And I think with getting Zinchenko and Jesus, players that Arteta already knows from Man City, to come in and fit into this system, and Jesus has looked ridiculous in pre-season. They've got the Vieira guy. I don't know anything
Pablo
about
Vieira
him.
from Porto.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him.
Good little player.
But it's still squad depth.
They do have European football this season though, which they didn't have last season.
Yeah.
So that could trip them up because they just had a free run at the league last season, and now they've got to have to do.
And we forget that they've got Saliba has come back into the defense, so they don't have. It's not Ben White. It's Saliba and Gabriel, and if anything happens, Ben White can step in. So they have some good squad depth there. That being said, it's still Arsenal. They could always bottle it, but I think I'll just go safe, and I'll say I still think we're the sixth best team in terms of squad out of the top six, based on the squad we have.
I'd go with that. I'd go with that.
Yeah, we're still the sixth best team, but we have a really good manager. We have a really good style of play. I think this season is one of them ones where we enjoy some really good football.
Yeah.
But we might also see some really, really bad score lines against us, because they're still learning. But yeah, sorry, just to answer your question quickly, it's Liverpool, City, one of the two. What did I say? Tottenham
and Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting. So slightly different there. Just a fun fact for you lot: Gabriel Jesus on the Premier League app is the most bought player for fantasy football. Up top.
He's not in mine. He's not in mine.
Okay. Shreyas, you have the final say on top four. Obviously, you've got dark horses as well. I'm just going to throw some of them in there for you. I don't think you're going to go with any of them, but you've got Newcastle who are 8-1. Oh, okay. You've got Newcastle who are 8-1, West Ham who are 14-1, and Aston Villa 16-1 to make top four. So, with that in mind, give me your top four, please, Mr. Singh.
I think City are definitely going to win the league this season. The only reason being they've got Haaland, but for me, as far as I've seen them in the pre-season, for me, Julian Alvarez looks more of a threat than him, because I've seen, the way he's playing, the way he runs. He's actually like a young Sergio Aguero, the way he plays. And I think that Pep Guardiola can actually get the best out of him. And I think more than Haaland, people need to keep an eye out for this guy. So I think City are definitely going to win the league. Liverpool are again going to come second. Tottenham are definitely going to be there. Tottenham could even trip Liverpool for the second position just because Antonio Conte is their manager, I would say. Yeah. And except that, for fourth, I'm actually going to go with West Ham this season, because they've slowly been, if you look at the past 2 seasons, they've slowly been rising above the ranks. They've been going with their deals quite under the radar as well. And this is the first season they've actually, went in for a striker. It is after like 3 to 4 years that they've actually got. Yeah,
Scamacca is a good player. He's a very good player.
He's a really good player, and he actually fits the profile of a David Moyes striker. And I think that he can actually get the best out of his ability if he can get. But once again, I would say that they do have an issue with their squad depth. They don't have the same quality going through the bench as well, because of course they've got Declan Rice in their midfield, so it does provide them with a lot of comfort. But once again, I think it's going to come down to the fact as to how they are able to put up with their fitness, because they're in the Conference League as well. So they have to play in a couple of competitions. But just to keep it a bit spicy, I would say I would go with West Ham. And I think we'll be fifth, not in the top four, only because I think the way Ten Hag plays and the way we've seen the preseason, we don't have the depth to keep up the same quality for the full 90, because we've seen players actually shine for the first 45 minutes. Like you can say that about Fred as well. He looked really sharp in the first 45, looked really energetic, but in the second half, a lot of our players start to drop, a lot of them start to fade. So I think considering that we haven't really stocked up that well, a lack of competition in a few places as well, I would say. So I would go with us being fifth, and I think Chelsea would drop off this season.
Interesting. Again, mixture of opinion. That's what we're here for. That's what I like.
What kind of world are we living in where David Moyes is likely to take top 4 over Ten Hag or Tuchel?
But it's not out of the realms of possibility.
What
Oh God!
West Ham actually pipes United to the top 4 spot. I mean, I would understand if West Ham came 6th and United came 7th, but if wow.
I can't see I can't see West Ham getting top 4. I can't.
No, but there's been a lot. Leicester wouldn't have won the league, or certain teams that got into the top 4 before. Like shit, it's football. Anything can happen. Yeah. So Newcastle could do really well. You never know.
Yeah. I'm not doubting what Shreds is saying. I'm just marveling at the possibility that this is actually the reality that we live in right now.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not putting any stain on what you said, Shreds. I'm just saying it's actually possible.
100%. I think that 4th spot especially is open. Yeah. It's really open.
Can you imagine a world where Liverpool win the league and Steven Gerrard with Aston Villa gets into 4th?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That's a bad season, isn't it?
The blue fucking pill.
Me, I would say the best thing
in the Matrix.
Yeah. That's a bad fucking year, isn't it?
The best thing, I would say for me, the best situation would be that Liverpool have to get top 4 and they're playing Aston Villa in the last game of the season. For me, that would be the best thing to see.
I think he threw, when that last season when Villa played Liverpool, I think Gerrard threw that game. I'm convinced of it. Like, nobody could tell me otherwise. I think he chucked the game.
Knowing the kind of character he is, I can't see Gerrard.
I think he chucked the game. I think he looked at it and went, no.
Of course. Yeah, of course. Anyway, I'm going to give you my top 4 prediction very quick. And I'm also going to throw a little thing out there as well. I think Europa League final, Arsenal and United. That's how I think it's going to go down. I think it's going to be a massive game. Yeah, that would be massive. God help if we lost that as well, because I'd go in hiding.
I think Civir remove himself from the country.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gone.
I'm with you on that. I think top 4. I think Liverpool are going to win the league. I think City are going to be second. I don't get this. Everyone going on about Tottenham having a great window. I don't think they have at all. I think they've signed. I think Basuma is a really good signing. I don't think Perisic is a good signing. I think he'll do an okay job. I think he'll be all right, but he's 32 years old. I can't see him doing it. And they've also got Reguilon and someone else in that left back spot as well. Yeah. So they've got 3 players there. Yeah. They've signed Spence. Obviously, we just mentioned there, but he's he's not ready to go straight away in the Premier League. He's going to take some time to adapt and stuff. They signed Forster in net,
backup keeper.
Okay, backup keeper. Okay. And then Richarlison when they've got Kane, Kuleski, and Son, who are already world-class front 3. So I actually don't see the 5 signings making a massive impact, apart from maybe Basuma.
I think it's Conte. I think Conte with a pre-season under his belt and a season in the Premier League, and then this is normally where he goes for it, doesn't it? This is normally where he starts dominating leagues and stuff. So I think that's the X factor in the Spurs is Conte. I think if their purchases came in under, I don't know, like Nuno was still there, for example, I think everybody'd be like, yeah, they're not finishing top 4. It's not happening. But Conte...
Conte goes strong in the Champions League as well, a lot of times. So I think they could fall off in the league as well. I don't see them getting top 4. So I'll go Liverpool in the league, City second, Chelsea. I'll say Chelsea still get 3rd because I think the signings they made are good, but they could have a bad season. I don't know. I think Sterling and Koulibaly is really good signings. And then I'll go with United. I think United 4th. I'm going to go with
positivity.
Let's see what happens.
Positivity.
Yeah. A bit of positivity from me. A bit of negativity here. Who will be relegated? We'll go through this very quick. Is there any shocks to go down? Also, as a bonus question as well, what newly promoted manager will be the first one to get sacked? Or what manager in general do you think will get sacked? So 2 questions to you guys, Sam. who will get relegated and who will be the first manager to be sacked, do you think?
Bournemouth are going down. Fulham going down.
2 to 5 favourites to be relegated.
Fulham are going down as well, I think. I don't think they've got enough. They've not bought anybody really to sort of stay up.
That's Carvalho as well to Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly.
Massive.
And I think Leeds are going down.
Ooh,
I think they go down.
Yeah.
And who's the first manager to be sacked?
Hassan Hüttel, Southampton.
Okay.
I think he gets sacked.
Yeah, Fulham. I mean, they've still got Mitrovic. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's a good.
He's not a fan of Mitrovic.
He's just putting his Fulham kit on now, like, oh, well, what's the fucking point? What's the point of me
I've got
being
him. Fucking.
Yeah, go watch Championship.
I mean, he's a good buy for fantasy league. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, he's not that guy to keep them up. I've got Fulham going down, Bournemouth going down, and yeah,
Forest, Leeds, Brentford.
Dean Henderson, yeah, Forest, yeah.
Oh, like a case.
There's revenge there in Civir's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, come on. Yeah, and first manager to go what's his name? Who's the manager of Fulham? That's that guy that was at
Fulham.
Marco Silva.
Marco Silva.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. Okay. Shreyas.
I think he'll be first.
I think I would go with Fulham, Bournemouth, and Leeds because with Leeds, I would just say it's because they haven't really been able to replace the players they've got out. Calvin Phillips and Rafinha, they were pretty much the key rocks in their team.
Massive hits for them, that innit?
Pretty much why they were able to avoid relegation last season was because of those two, and now they are gone and they've not been able to replace them well, I would say. So Leeds going down, Fulham going down, and Bournemouth going down. For the first manager to be sacked, I would love if Mikel Arteta would be sacked, but to be realistic, I mean, to be really honest, if we go on the Arsenal trajectory, this is the season where they feel good, but it all goes.
Yeah.
So I think Jesus would fail if the trajectory works well in that way. But I think Brendan Rodgers could be sacked first.
That's a good shout.
It's a good shout. Yeah. Might go with that.
Yeah. Could be, definitely, especially if they don't recruit well, which doesn't seem like they're doing at the minute.
They haven't got a single player in. A single player until now.
It's shocking, isn't it? Absolutely madness.
Some American. Somebody Marsh.
What?
Leeds.
Oh, I don't know.
Leeds,
oh yeah, the Tyler Adams is sort of bought, aren't they?
Some American dude.
Yeah.
Jesse Marsh. I think it's Jesse Marsh. Is it Jesse Marsh?
Yeah, Jesse Marsh.
Yeah. So I'll go with mine. I'll say Fulham, Bournemouth, because I think Bournemouth is just the most pointless club ever, aren't they?
Shite.
Really, like it's just such like a. If Butlins was a football club, I feel like it'd be Bournemouth.
They're like,
do you know what I mean?
Do you imagine? You imagine a season where the two top teams in the championship were Norwich and Bournemouth. You'd be like, oh, for fuck's sake! Like,
that's what I mean.
What's the point of that? They're just getting relegated.
I'm sorry, Bournemouth, but it's literally like a day out in Wales. That's just Bournemouth. They're just proper bang average.
At least we don't have Burnley in this season.
Yeah, well, they replaced Burnley, haven't they? I suppose you've got to have balance, haven't you? I'll go with Bournemouth, Fulham, and Forest. I think Forest will go back down because I think Jimmy Garner was a massive asset for them last year. Unless we loan him back, you never know. And they've lost Spence as well. Forest, don't forget. So I think Forest will go back down. Quick fire questions for you guys. Missing manager who's going to say. I'll say Hassel-Hüttel as well. I'll agree with Sam on that one. So they're locked in. Quick fire. Let's go. Top scorer, Sam. Punas.
No, I can't make myself say it. Haaland. Fuck it.
Okay. Civir? Salah. Shreyas?
Heung-min Son.
Oh.
Wow.
So
interesting.
Stam to finish in the top 4 and Heung-min Son to be top goal scorer. I'd love to see the odds. Actually, I think I've got the odds. I've got the odds somewhere. I'll come back to them.
That's a good shout. That's a good shout.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad.
He
got joined last season, wasn't he? With Mo Salah. I'll go Harry Kane, top scorer. I think he's going to have a good season. Most assists. So you've got the likes of Kevin De Bruyne or Trent, Salah, Kane, who are favourites. Sam.
I think Sterling might do it. Chelsea.
Okay. Civir.
Really clueless on this one. I might just go Trent.
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be Trent as well. Shreyas?
Can I say Donny?
Oh, God.
He's not going to play enough games. He's not going to play enough games. There's no point.
You can say it if you want. I don't think he'll have much weight, hold much
So
weight.
unless he gets 20 assists in 2 games, like he's fucking pointless, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I would say Jadon Sancho to get most of it.
Do you know in Avengers when it says the possibilities, when he's got like 4 million to what, and he's like, how many do we actually win? He says 1. It's like 1 out of 40 million. The fact West Ham to get top 4, Son to be top goal scorer, and Donny van de Beek to get top assist, I'd love to see
the planets have to align perfectly, don't they? For Shreyas' all predictions just to come true.
Again, it's Premier League. You never fucking know. You never know. I like I said, I agree. It's what?
How he did it? Doctor Strange, he was like,
yeah, 1. Just 1. David Moyes is looking at him like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I get no. You mean Smeagol?
What?
David Moyes. He looks like Smeagol, doesn't he? He's got top 4 in his hand going, my precious.
Interesting. Right, go on top of here. You're throwing me off.
Nick's been trying to complete a sentence for the past 5 minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm used to it. I'm fucking used to it.
Do you know what? I was hosting a show and him and Adam just was continuously trying to wreck the show. So just fuck his professionalism at this point. He was trying to tear me down. He tried to tear my show down repeatedly with Adam. It just went off the rails. So
mate, I could stay here for hours. I'm not asked. It is what it is. Right. Golden Glove. Who's getting the Golden Glove? We've got Emerson. Edison. I don't know who Emerson is. Alisson. I put Wendy.
Wait.
Obviously the goalkeeper.
Fucking Wendy. Who the fuck's Wendy?
You know, Edward Wendy plays for Chelsea, and then you got Lloris as well. So who's getting Golden Glove?
Wendy. Let's all vote Wendy. I vote Wendy.
I'm not Wendy. I'm just because I've written on my notes. It says Wendy. I was like, who the fuck is that? Jesus.
Oh God. So that's almost as bad as Iwa Woo Woo, isn't it? Like Wendy. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Golden Glove. Hit me with quickly. So we go through this bit. Sam.
Edison.
I really wanted to say Wendy then. Civir.
Yeah, I'll go Edison as well.
Shreyas, are you going to say fucking
Wendy?
Someone like a Newcastle keeper or something? Yeah.
He's going to say Fabianski. You're going to say Fabianski, aren't you?
No, I'll go with my inspiration.
He's not in the Premier League, unfortunately.
No, the second one. David De Gea.
David De Gea?
Oh, David De Gea. Oh, God.
Get it.
Yeah.
It's not happening, Civir. It's about as likely as happening as Donny scoring 20 assists. It's not happening.
I think we're going to have as many clean sheets as a hostel. So
yeah.
Not that many, I think. I will go with Hugo Lloris, I think, because I think Conte's got an outstanding record when it comes to defensive discipline. So I think he'll win it. Few more if we've got time. Yeah, let's go more United based now. So quick fire questions on United. Who will be the top scorer for Manchester United come the end of the season? Sam.
If Ronaldo stays, Ronaldo. If he goes, if
no, what's the point? I can't,
that's what it's like. Like I have. There's
season's not even started yet, Sam.
If you watch this fucking transfer saga go on, like honest to God, it spoiled all the fun of this season. Like it's fucking ruined it.
A couple of weeks left. I'm cautiously optimistic. As Civir said.
Yeah, if
top goal scorer.
If Ronaldo stays, Ronaldo. If he doesn't stay, Bruno.
Okay, Civir. Ronaldo. Okay. Shreyas.
Yeah, definitely. I think because Ronaldo is staying Ronaldo. If he doesn't stay, then I would go Anthony Martial.
Okay, I'll throw a curveball and I'll say Jadon Sancho. Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho. Surprise youngster to break through. You got to say Garnacho, ain't you, Sam?
No, is he already broke through? Can you like?
No, but I mean, like, he's not come into the mainstay, been in the team, has he? He's not been like, like a Lango last season. got into the team and then was like a regular.
I think Garnacho is a good option. If you want, I can pick somebody else if you want. If you don't want to say Garnacho.
No. If you want to go with Garnacho, go. Say it with your chest, bro.
Yeah, I think I'll go with Garnacho because I don't, as much as I like Zidane Iqbal and Charlie Savage, I don't think they're ready yet. So I think Garnacho's the next one who's ready. Him or Hannibal, they're the two I think who are ready for the next level.
Civir?
I think it might be Jimmy Garner.
I knew you was going to say Garner then. I knew it. I was literally just about to go, you're going to say Garner, right? Yeah.
I think it might be Garner. But here's the thing, like, Ten Hag said he'd develop someone if he doesn't get Frankie de Jong.
Yeah.
I think he might go with what's his name?
Garner.
Well, I think Zidane would have.
Zidane Iqbal.
A couple of games there this season. I think.
Yeah.
Looked good, hasn't he?
Sorry.
He's looked good, hasn't he, Iqbal?
Yeah, he beats the press every time.
Yeah.
Like they tried to press him, and he literally just evaded everyone. So.
He's silky on the ball as well. His ball control and his stuff is very good.
He just needs to get polished, a little bit more polished, and but I think it would be Jimmy Garner just for the physicality and the way he reads the game and the pass and everything. I think he might be the one.
Interesting. I like it. Different variety again. Lot
of Garners in the chat, by the way, for young player. A lot of Garners.
Okay.
I mean, he does. Out of all possibilities, he fits the most of them because he's the only who can actually play in that midfield for us right now because he's had a good loan deal as well. He's got the experience and he's in the prime zone to being called up to the squad and make up his name because the rest of them either they are too fairly young or they haven't really been been involved that much in first team football. Even if you pull out the ranks of Garnacho and Zidane Iqbal and Charlie Savage, none of them have actually got any loan deals. None of them, they've just sprung onto the scene, I would say, just from the youth team. So it's a bit tough for them to actually, make a case for themselves. So even though I want the player to be Pelistri who does that, but I know that he's going out on loan. I don't know. I could see Jimmy Garner does fit a lot of possibilities, but I haven't really seen enough of him in pre-season because he got injured and didn't really get those many opportunities. So I would say Malacia does fit in the ranks as well when you have to say young players for breakout because he's fairly young as well. So Malacia could be one or just Zidane Iqbal because I think he could cultivate into, actually, I think he's more of a number 10, the way he actually plays, the way he moves around with the ball as well, the way he does his passes. I think he's really, really smart at a really young age. Especially, if in the game against Liverpool when Savage and Iqbal came on, they looked way, way better than McFred. Way, way better than McFred, I would say. And for the most part of that,
it's the sustainability in it of doing that game in, game out in the Premier League. Like, I don't think they've got the maturity and the stamina to be doing that week in, week out, and have to take the pressure, the criticism of the media as well. I think that's like a massive, massive step up in comparison to like pre-season against a Melbourne victory, etc.
I think they would be used more in the cup games or the Europa League starting games. That's when I think, he'll be... I think first off, Ten Hag will be using a lot of them in the cup and as well as the Europa League games because even he, would have to actually assess them and actually make sure how many actually he can incorporate into the squad as well because you can't actually, because these players are still really, really new to the scene. You don't want them to actually, lose their confidence.
The sad thing about it is that we don't have any leaders.
Yeah.
We don't have any leaders in that midfield, that they can learn from. Like, say, if we had like a Carrick or something.
Yeah.
I mean, Dan said Rashford.
Surprise breakthrough. Still waiting for it. Hey, don't forget that 1920 season. Absolutely murdered it. Put some respect on Rashford's name.
Dad, I'm surprised you're not saying your favourite Shorty. Where's your shout for Shorty?
Shorty. Shola Shorty.
Shola Shorty.
And also, guys, just look out for what's his name, Isaac Hansen Aaron.
Oh yeah, he got minutes against Falcao, didn't he?
He might have a few appearances. He won't be like the breakout star, but then I think Ten Hag fancies him. I think if you watch the way he plays, he's very, very intelligent, and he's extremely calm on the ball. It's like Charlie Savage. He's just calm on the ball.
Let's I forgot. So Sam, you said Garnacho, Civir, Garner, and Shreyas, I can't remember what you said. What did you say?
I said Ghana or Iqbal.
Ghana or Iqbal. I'll go with. I'm absolutely shame on all of you for not saying Ahmad.
He's going on loan. He's going on loan.
Yeah,
Nah,
he's also going on loan.
he's going to be Ten Hag's inverted winger, and he's going to get 20+ goals. No doubt in my mind. So
Ahmad's going to leave the club, and he's going to be. Nick's still going to be like, why is Ahmad making his breakthrough? He's going to be like Nick's Ander Herrera. I'm still waiting for the Ander Herrera return to Manchester United. No. It's just.
We have to do a show where we talk about Ahmad because it's criminal what's happening. Like
I'm open to it, 100%.
Nick
will do it by himself for an hour. He doesn't need the match.
Yeah, he could easily talk about Ahmad for an hour, no problem.
I think Jong had more game time.
And he's
shocking. He was shit.
Shite. Yeah. Awful. He was so bad.
I've never seen a more one-footed.
After this, I really don't.
No. I've never seen a more one-footed player in my life. He was shocking in pre-season. So yeah, all the youngsters are locked into who we think is going to break through. Will we win a trophy? Simple yes or no answer. Sam?
No.
No. Civir?
Yes.
Yes. And what trophy?
Europa League.
Europa League. I agree. Shreyas?
That's not realistic.
No.
No. Okay. And what final quick-fire question? What's a realistic expectation given how the current transfer window is going? Sam, you're going to say 6th, aren't you?
Yeah, 5th or 6th. That's where I expect us to be.
No trophies. That's what you think, yeah?
I think this is going to be you have to write the season off because it's Ten Hag's first season. You have to write it off and let him get his philosophy in, let him get his tactics, let him get his method of playing.
Get rid of the cobwebs in it.
Yeah, just get the club reset, things put in place. Like he's already started. He's like he moved the dugout so he could be close to that. He's like you said, his attention to detail with cutting the grass and stuff like that. Let him get his stuff in. Let him do all the stuff he wants to get involved, all the play stuff like that, and then he'll start building his team. Next season coming, you just got to write it off and just look for progression and look for better styles of play, look for effort, look for stuff like that. Because like Civir said, there's probably going to be some scorelines you're not going to like. But if we see a style of play, if we see players trying and making an effort, I'll call that progression. 5th or 6th, cool. And then next season is when we build and we start going. That's the next thing. So that for me, I'm happy to write it off.
I remember vividly when Klopp first came in and they had like Mignolet and Karius and shit. Yeah. And attacking wise, when they brought in like Mane and guys like that, they was really, really good. But then defensively, they was leaking so much. And then the way they were trying to play, they was trying to do that counter press and like press up really high. They'd have space in behind. They didn't have Van Dijk for like the recovery pace and the leadership. And they got butchered at the back. Then once they assessed that, they brought in Alisson, they brought Van Dijk. That was like the final piece of the jigsaw. And then they was complete. So I think it is going to take time in Manchester United naturally. And the recruitment's definitely going to have to be spot on. Civir, talk to me. 6th. And Europa League.
And I think Europa League, Europa League, I'm just being optimistic, but in reality, it's actually the most likely, well, I don't want to say easiest, but it's like...
Most realistic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the most realistic trophy that we can win, and we have a shot at winning it.
Definitely.
I believe so. Because once you get to the quarters, you're in it. I mean, then you can actually believe. Once you get to like, you can actually believe. But yeah, I'm gonna say 6th. And just to add to what Sam was saying, and I've said this before as well. The man is not a magician. When Pep came in, what did Pep finish his first season? He was 3rd or 4th.
3rd, I think it was.
3rd.
Yeah.
And the league wasn't this competitive. Nowhere near as competitive as it is now. Jurgen Klopp came 4th, or was it 7th?
6 his first season, I think.
6th or 7th. Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think fans need to be patient. We're going to enjoy this season because we'll see some really good styles of play. We'll see like.
Well, I've enjoyed pre-season already. So if it's seeing like the rate off the ball and the intelligent passing on the ball, like.
Finally, because I was watching, I was like, finally, now we have now we have a manager, like a proper manager, like a, not someone who's good but has some crazy tendencies like we have with Van Gaal. This is a proper manager. We can actually see a style of play in the game, so that even when players come in, you can see that they know what they're supposed to do. So yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy myself. The only thing I'm scared about Ten Hag is because from watching some Ajax channel, there's some guys who talk about Ajax, well, some Ajax players they have, and they said that Ten Hag doesn't have a plan B. So that's the only thing that worries me. Like he just wants to play the same thing the whole
To
time.
be fair, neither does Klopp. Klopp doesn't have a plan B. Klopp plays the way he plays. That's it. If you can't fit into the system, if it doesn't work, that's it. So that's the way he plays.
So,
Interesting. Severe. Shreya, sorry. Realistic prediction.
I think 5th, basically. I don't think that, we've done efficient business in the transfer window. I don't think we made the signings we actually wanted, which Sam has pointed out a lot of times as well. We still don't have a CDM. So
Why, Shreyas? Why you hurting me, Shreyas? Why? Every show you do this to me.
Gotta let them know.
Absolutely.
Gotta remind them. Keep banging that door down, Shreyas. Keep banging that door down.
I didn't mention anyone.
Yeah, but you mentioned the position. Doesn't matter.
You're sensitive.
I mean,
Every single show you bring up CDM.
I didn't say
if you
that.
type CDM, if you type CDM, your Google thing.
CDM in the
like
CDM in the
things.
chat. CDM in the chat.
Don't worry about it. We've got McTerminator.
Oh, fuck off!
We'll be all right.
Just it's a realistic expectation that on Sunday we will have McFred starting in midfield.
Oh yeah.
That is
Fucking crazy.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Mental. Absolutely mental.
God.
Oh, Shreyas, you think 5th and no trophy, yeah?
Yeah, 5th and no trophy, because I would, even in the Europa League, once you get to the semi-finals, you play teams with good quality, and we've seen that before as well. You can see the likes of, I mean, you never know, Inter, Sevilla, anyone could be there, and I've seen teams with good quality being in there, and we've actually been knocked out a fair few times in the Europa League when we go deep into the semi-finals as well. So I think if we are lucky, we could go to the finals, but I still don't see us winning, because I don't see this team having that instinct to win trophies till now. I haven't seen it yet. Once we do, I think once the philosophy gets flowing into the players as well, and I would say when Ten Hag actually, is able to express his football through his players 100% on the pitch as well, that's when I would say that, this team is ready to actually pounce on some trophies.
Shreyas,
now,
we won
it's a bubble.
the Bangkok Cup. Did you not see that in Thailand?
We've not seen that trophy in our
Yeah,
cabinet.
that trophy. That we won the Bangkok Cup.
Yeah,
like, come on.
I did see it.
Yeah.
But then after in the next game against Melbourne victory, we got hit on the counter.
Yeah.
So, guys, with everything we've spoken about, everything, take it all on board. Let us know your opinion in the comments section, what you think. Top 4, top goal scorers, breakout youngsters, all that kind of jazz. Let us know your thoughts. It's really important because I want to get the general kind of consensus from everyone. If you guys have any final thoughts you want to touch on before we head off.
Dan's put in the chat, Jones played as a CDM against Real Madrid. Fuck off, Dan. Absolutely fuck off.
Yeah.
That's all I want to say.
Phil Jones.
it's true. Though.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is true.
Okay.
Severe, how's that helpful, mate? It's not helpful at all. Come on this channel.
Anywhere about Phil Jones playing DM. Get to fuck. No,
Phil Jones and McTominay as a pivot.
No.
Oh, fucking
no
hell.
in a top 10 would play Phil
And he
Jones.
scored when he played as a DM. I remember that game. He scored.
Right, it's getting silly season now.
Right.
Right.
Seville's not allowed back on the channel. It's fucking done.
No, that's it now. He's mentioned Phil Jones. It's done. Thank you very much, guys, for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure for this big preview. Can't wait to watch the game on Sunday against Brighton. Going to be very interesting. Also, for anyone watching, if you've enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash a like on the video. I'm not sure what the sub count is in a minute on the likes on the video.
327, yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Perfect. Love it. Thank you very much, guys. Make sure you check us out on socials as well. Type in Real Reds Talk. All the kind of socials at the bottom of the graphics, so you should be able to see them there. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Joining me, guys. Oh,
Fantasy League.
Go on, Sam.
Fantasy League.
Go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, so we've got a Fantasy League. I bet Shreyas has still not done his team. Shreyas?
No.
Definitely better. I know Adam hasn't still done his team.
He's literally doing it now.
Yeah. Get it sorted, Shreyas, for God's sake. Adam's
How
probably
many
not.
people got in the league, Sam?
It got like
57?
40. Oh, is it up now? It was 40 odd when I said.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the code is all lowercase SIBW63.
SIBW63.
See, he knows the fucking code, but he's not bothered to do his team. What's the point? Join the Fantasy Premier League. Ton of people in there already, so let's have a good thing. And we might have a little bit of a prize for the winner if it's not one of us. But yeah, check it out.
What a prize if I fucking win. I'm putting dedication in 38 weeks, week in, week out.
Bite for you can bite some shit. You can bite yourself then. So yeah, appreciate all the love coming through for Fantasy League. It's nice.
Should we do a party when we start a season without McFred? Say at the start of next season.
Yeah, and we'll have a pinata shaped like McTominay, and we can just.
I genuinely want to celebrate that. Like, I've gotten back on my drinking, but I think I would definitely 100%.
I've gotten back on my drinking. It's because that's last season. Last season, Civir's just gone. I need to fucking get drinking. Yeah. This is just.
I told you. I said I've been cutting off. Like I've been cutting down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you were getting
a drink. Like.
Yeah.
I would love to get absolutely smashed once we see that McFred isn't. No, I still drink. Come on, I'm gonna watch when we play.
I was gonna say you need something. Yeah. Like, you need something.
Yeah. It just reminds me as well. Don't forget our bet, Sam. If we sign De Jong, Sam owes me a bottle of Buffalo Trace.
Yes.
The finest. And if we don't sign De Jong, I'm buying Sam a bottle of JD Apple. Yeah. So that is the bet that we've got on. So we'll see what happens with that. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been a pleasure, as I said before. Thank you, Civir, for coming back on. Again, always a pleasure having you on. You're welcome on anytime you want. Sam, appreciate your company. And Shreyas, as always, as well. You've been perfect. No idea. Cheers, guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Peace.
We're good.